I think we are, I think, yes, Mataji Lavanga. It's very nice to see the face of the devotees. I think we are, okay, we are almost ready. So, as you, I think I should record also. Yeah, yes. As you know, we have been hit by the worst calamity of the last maybe 40 years, 50 years. Yeah. So we are working, and after the, the video class, anyone who wants to participate to a video segment where I'll explain where we at with that. Has been very heavy um, days for me because we have found a solution, but the solution is a heavy work for me, and I don't really think that the devotees can help much because it took some time for me to understand how it works. So I will have to do everything by myself, publishing 62 books in a very short time. So after the video conference, we are going to meet and I will tell you where we are at with that. It's not going to be long, but I think you should know. Hare Krishna Govinda. So let me open my. So because I have been so busy and also so tired, and I have some problem to my leg, etc., etc. I don't want to always complain. So I was not able to prepare anything. Normally I don't prepare, but if you do a very specific question, which I enjoy, obviously, very much, but it takes some time to be specific. I cannot, if you do how the universe is created, I cannot tell you we are not this body. I have to answer in according to what you are asking me. So anyway, surely we can do at least one verse of the Nectar of Instruction. That we can start doing it. I asked from some of you to do some ahead so that I can do it in Spanish, but nothing happened. So anyway, today we are going to start working. And then I had other very nice questions, like what is Brahman? I don't remember who made the question, but this is quite specific. It's technical, I have to answer seriously. Then there was another question. This is from Govinda. Who is a Brajavasi? That I can answer. That I can answer. But about the Brahman, it will take some next time. So let's start. And of course, I hope to receive questions from you. Always. As you know, I enjoy very much receiving questions because question means you think of Krishna. It is as simple as that. So I want to then you tell me what you want me to start from Upadeshamrita or talking about Rajamandal, the Vrajavasi.
Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj, and dear devotees, please accept my respectful obeisances. Our glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna.
If it's okay with you, then maybe we can start with the Upadeshamrita.
Yes. So, in Sanskrit, Amrita means nectar, Upadesha means teachings. Very, the translation of the Srila Prabhupada made to Upadeshamrita is very appropriate. It's just a translation in English. And this is a very little book, just 11 verses that Srila Rupa Goswami wrote. But they are pregnant with meaning, so we can stay on this book for a very long time. Every word actually would deserve attention. So, because I'm saying this, I want to start. So, first of all, obviously, I'm going to read the verse number 1, which recites so: a sober person who can tolerate the urge to speak let me the urge to speak. Where am I again? A sober person who can tolerate the urge to speak, the mind's demands, the actions of anger, and the urges of the tongue, belly, and genitals, is qualified to make disciples all over the world. So, very, very nice verse. So, I want to start actually with the word dira, because we always speak about we should be sober. What means sober? Normally, I don't know very much in English because I wasn't born in any English-speaking country, but normally sober means who doesn't drink, doesn't get drunk, isn't that? I am sober. But obviously, this word dhira doesn't mean that you are not a drunkard. Obviously means something else. So dhira, Srila Prabhupada used this word, sober, which gives an idea of somebody who is serious. And actually, sober also means someone who is not funny, someone who is serious, because there is nothing to laugh in this material world. We see from our scriptures that in the spiritual world there is a lot of laughter and joking, etc. And in this material world, unless you are not a pure devotee, there is not much to laugh. But at the same time, we are also happy people because our life is wonderful. I mean, just think about our life as nectar. Can you imagine what we call the karmi, which is not proper actually? These people are not karmis, they are vikarmis or ugra karmi, But again, in our movement, it came to be used this word, the karmis, no? So since we don't want to do semantic revolution, we continue to use the word the karmi. So the karmi, they get up in the morning, they go to work the whole day, they come back, and they wait death. That's all. It's a meaningless life. And if you believe that this is the last life, the first and last life that we have, I think we should give some more meaning to this life. Of course, we don't believe that this life is been the first and not the last life. But the so-called karmists, they don't know that. They think that life is one. So, and they live a terrible life, really, meaningless. So dhira means someone who is serious. But serious doesn't mean that he is sad or that he's not happy. Because normally we think a serious person is not happy person. Happy person is supposed to laugh. This is not so because there are many different types of happiness, and sometimes the extroverted type of person not necessarily is really a happy person, while sometimes, very often actually, I would say that an introverted person is enjoying life within. Just like us, we got a lot of things to think about. Pastimes, the philosophy, the service, etc. So we may not laugh very much, but that doesn't mean that we are not happy people. Actually, the devotees are very happy. Because you walk around here in Vrindavan, people think, oh, India, they are poor, which they are not. Maybe 50 years ago, there was some poverty, but now it's not. They are very well economically. In general, of course, a generalization is not correct very often, no? But let's say that there is obviously more wealth today respect to 50 years ago when I came in Vrindavan for the first time. So a sober person is someone who is brave, someone who is strong, someone who is firm, someone who is perseverant. Dhira is also someone who knows how well behaving, what they well behave. They are also someone who is steady. How to be steady in spiritual life? Well, depends. Depends. Just like when a hurricane comes, then you have to take hold of something, and then you don't move because you have. So if you are full of philosophy, full of pastimes, full of service, then you got so many things to do that you become very, very steady. You never, every day it's always the same. It's not that one day you think, oh, maybe I should go enjoy something. And the day after, no, I want to be a nice devotee. I want to be. So being steady is very important. Dhira means steady. It also means very skillful. It means also soft. When someone is happy within, it's never harsh. It may be harsh, just to teach. But a great devotee never chastise anyone because he cannot control his own rage. He wants to teach, want to help another person to become better. And Srila Prabhupada got angry sometimes, Nobody really liked to see Srila Prabhupada angry. I never saw him angry. I was very much afraid of being so close to him that he would get angry at me, but he didn't. So then, Dira is also someone who wears saffron, this color. It's also Dira. It's an ocean of knowledge. And so it's someone that's very intelligent, someone who's very gentle, energetic, like this. So the use of the word Dhira in the first verse of the Upadeshamrita is very nice. So let's change for a second the translation and let's substitute with someone firm. So a firm person who can tolerate the urge of speed, then it makes sense. That doesn't mean that it didn't make sense before also. But if you say a sober person who can tolerate the urge to speak, what does it mean? you know? Um, so now that we know some other explanation or translation of the word dira, we can substitute, if we want, the word sober with something um, um, with something else. For example, a steady person who can tolerate the urge. Someone who is steady can tolerate because he's steady. He doesn't need steadiness. It can never come from materialistic experiences. You never become steady if you want to enjoy material life. At the contrary, you become very unsteady. Because in the material world, anything can happen at any time. You are always afraid. And time goes, you become old, you become like that. So you cannot be steady because in this material world is also called chanchala. Chanchala, Maya is called chanchala. Chanchala means unsteady. It's always gives you some pleasure and then it takes it away like this. So this is the urge to speak. But let's see what tolerance is. Tolerance means that something, you may dislike something, but there is nothing that can actually makes you suffering if you are a very advanced devotee, because your happiness comes from within, not from the outside. Who cares if it's hot, if it comes a hurricane, or this, my husband, my wife, my son, my this, my. We always think that we actually own something, which is we don't own anything. At any moment, we may have millions of dollars. Just a question of time. You go and leave everything. So tolerance can only come if you are rich within, inside Krishna consciousness, um, chanting Hare Krishna, discovering the meanings of chanting Hare Krishna, how much it means. Every time we say Hare Krishna, what it means Hare Krishna. Why Hara becomes Hare, Krishna is left Krishna. Who can answer this question?
I mean, well, I know one aspect of it is just the vocative or the vocative, like in Sanskrit.
Yes. Sanskrit grammar.
Yeah.
Sanskrit grammar. If we say, if your name is not Govinda, but Govinda, feminine. Then if I say, oh Govinda, then it becomes oh Govinde, Govinde. If you are Govinda masculine, then oh Govinda, you are left Govinda because you are masculine. Feminine is different from, and this is anyway some Sanskrit grammar rule. That's why Hara, which is the name of Radharani, which means the savior, becomes Hare because it's feminine. then oh Hara, Radha, Radhe, because it's feminine. Krishna and Rama are both masculine, and then they stay masculine. Masculine. So if you know, you're happier. Knowledge gives you happiness because you know that you have something in your mind. So philosophy is very important. Of course, you don't do much with philosophy if you don't practice it, no? But knowledge is very, very important. So they heard you speak. Speaking, there are people who are sick, disease. Speaking is a disease. They cannot hear. It's so painful to hear. For many, many, many people, they cannot hear because hearing puts you in a secondary position in your life. You cannot tolerate to hear much. And that's, I have seen this phenomenon of hearing disease very much in our movement and outside our movement. Until you speak, you feel alive. You feel alive. When you don't speak, then you feel like you have to accept somebody else more than you. So it's a disease. When you don't have anything really important to say, just don't talk. Be a Muni. Muni, the word Muni comes from Mauna, which means silence. A Muni is someone who doesn't speak. This is actually the meaning of the word Muni? Obviously not. The Muni speaks, but speaks of Krishna consciousness and knowledge, Vedic knowledge. Then he speaks. But from the moment there is nobody who really want to hear or doesn't have anything to say, which actually never happens, because knowledge is so vast that you can speak lives without repeating the same thing. So a Muni is someone who speaks only about Krishna knowledge, etc. This Muni is not the necessity to speak to feel some pleasure. Speaking gives you pleasure. But you should speak only if you speak about something which is not related to Krishna, then you feel some pleasure, but it's material pleasure. And that's what we don't want. We want spiritual pleasure. That's why we only talk about Krishna. Then the mind demands. This is, a lot to say. What the mind does, it does two things. And they feel and they what was that? They
Thinking, feeling, and willing.
this is
Accepting and rejecting.
Accepting, yeah, but no, this
Accepting and
is
rejecting.
yeah. Accepting, rejecting is one of the two. It's a two categories of mind. The main category of the mind is I don't remember. Anyway, yes, the mind thinks, feels, and desire, and then the second category is accepting and rejecting. But let's see 1 second what accepting and rejecting means. The mind is a repository of sensorial experiences. If I touch something that I like, this experience goes in the mind, and the next time you see something similar that you think that can give you the same pleasure, then you accept it. But if you touch the fire, then next time you refuse it, you reject it because of past experience. So the mind is a place where all the sensorial experiences are stored, and you are then a slave. You are a slave of of uh, of a mechanism of accepting because you liked in the past. Maybe this time you won't like it, but since you liked it in the past, you take it, and probably you're going to suffer, or maybe not. But you're really not free. When someone cannot control the mind, then you are not free because you must accept or reject. This is accepting or rejecting. So how to control this aspect of mind? When your intelligence, which is called buddhi, mind is called manasa. Manasa is mind, and buddhi is intelligence. So if your intelligence, how you become intelligent? By philosophy, by studying, and also practicing. But we're going to speak about this in a couple of minutes. So, but let's say now only philosophy. You know what is good. Maybe your mind say, no, but the last time we were very happy with this. But if you know that this is actually not good, you can order the mind not to take it. But if you are not intelligent, the mind it's like it does what he likes, not what you like, but what it's an automatism. It's not a person who is choosing. You liked, you take it. You didn't like, you refuse it. It's not you actually making the choice. But when you are very intelligent, when you are dhira, then you are intelligent enough to accept what is good for you, even if you like it. But it's not good that you will not take it. But it takes intelligence, because otherwise you are a slave of your mind. So, thinking, feeling, willing, you want something that you like, and thinking it's one of the best thing because it's a hard disk that nobody can hack. So you feel safe. I can, yes, Prabhu, I like you very much, but in your mind you can think I hate you. So, and nobody will know because it's there. Nobody can hack unless, of course, you. But normally, this is a very safe place to store things. And the so the feeling, it comes from experiences and also from nature, or your nature. For instance, men are made in a certain way, and women are made in another way. If there is a big problem, a big commotion, you understanding if there are women that start screaming, men do not scream. They're different. So it's nature. So that's why if we want to become Dhira, we had to, how you say, you had to become intelligent, buddhi, in such a way that you control your masculine or feminine nature. Don't give way to emotion. Emotion is material. Emotion is bad. Emotion is a negative experience in life. You have to become strong. You have to become dhira. Dhira is always a say, doesn't cry because he loses something. or rejoices too much if he gets something good in his life. It's all equiposed. Is it in English, equiposed? It's always the same, balanced. It's always the same. That's what we had to do, because in this way we can be in control of our life, of our internal life. But anyway, we cannot say everything that could be there to say. Let's go to anger. Sometimes anger, sometimes is uncontrollable. Sometimes it's even worse than lust. Of course, lust is bad, but anger, it can destroy your life. We can see it from the Mahabharata. Duryodhana lost everything because of anger, envy. So when you become angry, you cannot control yourself. You can say and do anything. So you have to think that there is no victims in this world. If something happens, it's because you deserved it. This is called the law of karma. There is nothing happens because of chance. It casually happened to me. So it's your fault because you did this, you said that to me, and you become angry because that's your fault. But if you become intelligent, and then you believe in the science of karma, that nothing can happen uh, outside the repercussion of something that you did in the past, in this life, on the other life, then you don't become angry because it's nobody's fault, it's your fault. If you want to become angry, you become angry to yourself. Then you become peaceful. Because you don't hate anyone, because nobody can do anything to you. This is not how you say that um, um,
Pacifism, like being a pacifist.
there is a word. Can you say it again?
Pacifism or being a pacifist.
No. Those who believe that we had to accept anything coming to us of because of we don't know what, you know. Uh, this
Fatalist,
is
maybe?
fatalism. Fatalism. We don't believe in fatalism because fatalism. Is this how you say it? Fatalism? Yes. Because fatalism means it happens, we don't know why. That's fatalism. Okay? So, and so since we don't know why, then we just go to our wife or husband or friend or son, and we become very, because it's your fault. I don't know why it happened. It must be because of you. Because there is no law, there is no. But we don't believe in fatalism. We say that it's very scientific. You do something, then you take a result. Action in reaction. There is nothing in this world, even from the material world, there is nothing that happens without a cause. You marry, you have sons. Action and reaction. You live material, you become old. Action and reaction. So then the urges of the tongue. Tongue means eating and speaking. We already said something about speaking. But in this case, a tongue also means the pleasure that comes from speaking. So try to discover the pleasure of be silent. It's very beautiful. Be silent and just think to Krishna, to service, to philosophy, pastimes, etc. So control your tongue, your belly. Obviously, belly is easy to understand. We like to eat. So there is someone who says that we should not, in the past, I remember when we were very young, we believed we should not enjoy the taste of food. So we would take all the food and we mix it together. I remember. I never believed in this because there must be a reason why there is pleasure in a food. Somebody put pleasure inside the food. So just like any other pleasure in life, there is a material pleasure and there is a spiritual pleasure. So there is the material pleasure of eating and the spiritual pleasure of eating. So much so that if we take the scriptures, we find a lot of description how devotees they meet together and they take prasadam, and Krishna in them wants to that Radharani cooks for him. Why? Because it tastes good. So we are not against eating nicely, but we had to transform this experience in spiritual experience. That's a difference. Material pleasure and spiritual pleasure. It's not that a devotee thinks that there should not be any pleasure. Of course, there must be pleasure. We are made of pleasure. We are made of ananda. We always looking for something good. Nobody goes to eat something that he doesn't like. We always choose, I like this. I eat that. No, I don't like it. So we are not against pleasure, but we had to learn how to make it spiritual by offering our food, by thinking of Krishna while we take our prasadam. Remember that there is no food. This is prasadam. It's a mercy. So why is called prasada? Because if rain doesn't come down, there is nothing. It's a mercy that we have something to eat. So we have to remember to be helpless in this material world, and we have to thank the demigods, the Krishna, of course, and everybody. Okay? Genitals are made to procreate. That's all. This is why Brahma made genitals. You had to procreate. And since Brahma was a little tricky, since nobody would be so foolish to do children, to make children, because you got to work at least 20 years to maintain somebody that most probably 20 years after will say Haribol and will go with his wife, with his husband, will salute you, thank you very much. But I brought you up for 20 years. Oh, thank you very much. And go. And you have 20 years, you work for nothing. So Brahma said, of course, I'm joking. I don't know if Brahma actually said that. But I just, when I think about the pleasure of sex, I just see Brahma saying, okay, I will trick you. I will push some pleasure so you make children. Otherwise, this universe will be empty. We need procreation. It's the nature. It's nature. So, but you are going to pay it dearly. Some pleasure, a few minutes or whatever, or pleasure. You got to work 20 years, maybe more. Anything can happen. So better we try, although it's not easy, I understand, It's not easy, but the pleasure of the genitals are made to make children. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta was very strict. Sannyasi, he would say, if I could make children Krishna conscious, I am ready to have sex to have thousands of children. Well, some more or less. This is what he said. And so if someone can be the way we had described, tolerate, that is always serious, is always stable, it doesn't change idea, or doesn't choose, doesn't think every day, today I want Maya and tomorrow we'll take Krishna and then Maya, then Krishna. And you can control your anger, etc., etc. Then you can save so much people from the material world. Shisha means disciples, but Shisha also means somebody who can listen to you. That's Shisha. So why we want that people listen to us? Because we can help. If someone doesn't listen, doesn't care, then you cannot do anything for him, and so that's why we have this system in our tradition, that we have a guru and disciple becomes guru, and he will have this disciple, etc., down, gleaning down through thousands of years up to the present day. Knowledge must be handed down by a physical person. There is some weird philosophy who came in our movement some time that you don't need a guru, there is Prabhupada, that doesn't work that way. Otherwise, I don't need Prabhupada, I have Rupa Goswami. Why should I take initiation from Srila Prabhupada? And Krishna said, from guru to disciple. So this is the system has been enforced by Sri Krishna himself, and that's why we will continue to do that. The guru has to be a person physically present in your life. Obviously, it's easier for someone who has few disciples to be present, more difficult for someone who has many disciples. So how to solve this problem? Well, that's your I don't know. You see what you want, do what you want. You have to be a little intelligent. If you take initiation from somebody who has 40,000 disciples, you must expect that he will not talk to you. So that's why we are in our movement. We are more and more. We are initiating spiritual master. We are not finished here at the present moment. More and more they will come. First as a Prabhupada disciples, and more or less all Prabhupada disciples who could do the service, they already are doing it. And now the disciples of Prabhupada disciples are starting to take up this very important. So what it means to be a guru means a teacher. Guru means two things, well, many things, but basically two things. He has to teach, and he has to be pure to accept service. Because who are we? We are Krishna Das. We are servants of Krishna. Okay? And the guru represents Krishna. So you serve the guru, you serve Krishna. But if the guru is not pure, then there is no connection. Or the connection is very, very, you say,
Week? Week?
Week?
Or
Yeah, week. And the other, and first of all, a guru has to take service in representation of Krishna, and the other one, obviously, he has to teach, obviously, because a guru doesn't teach what's he doing. Okay, basically, I think we cover the first verse of the Upadeshamrita today, and please read the Srila Prabhupada commentary. As always, is wonderful. This commentary comes from the spiritual world, and man cannot say what Prabhupada said. So read it. All right. So is there any question?
Thank you, Guru Maharaj. That was very. Thank you for elaborating so much and taking the time to really explain the first verse. There was a simple question. How we were talking at the very beginning with like Hara and how it turns to Hare, and how Das turns with like devotees. When we get our name, it's Krishna Das, and then for Mataji's, it's Krishna Devi Dasi. So what is Devi Dasi? I've never known what that means.
Well, we want to respect women. This is a very stronghold, if it is correct to use this word, of our philosophy, that we want to respect women. Women, old men, and children, they had to be safe, and we had to provide an ambient, a place, an environment where they feel not only safe, but also respected. Because you can feel safe, but then nobody look at you, and you cannot take a responsibility because they think you are not as intelligent as men, these kind of things. And it's not a healthy environment for ladies. Of course, ladies should stop thinking to be ladies, because the whole point of our philosophy that we are no men, we are no women. So please stop thinking that you are a man, you are a woman. You are Krishna Das. You do the service that you are able to do, and Krishna will be happy, you will be happy. A Devi means a goddess. So all the names of ladies, they are all goddess. So the name of the lady Yamuna Devi. Yamuna is a goddess. Lavanga is a goddess. So Lavanga Devi. So our ladies are servants of the goddess Yamuna or the goddess Lavanga, like this.
Thank you.
Okay, so if you don't have any question, we close here.
Did we still have time to answer the question of the Vrajvasis?
Oh, okay. So, Braja means Braja, and the place where Krishna appeared. The word Vraja, Vrajati in Sanskrit means someone who moves. Because the Vrajavasi in ancient times, they used to move to find better places for their cows, etc. And Vasa, Vasi comes from Vasa. Vasa means to reside, to live in a place. So there are people here in Vrindavan saying, no, you're not a Vrajavasi because No, Vrajavasi does not mean necessarily, you know, Gopala, Balarama, and Subala, or these kind of things. Anyone who resides in Vrindavana is a Vrajavasi. Obviously, it depends from the meaning that you attach to the word, obviously. If you are talking about those Vrajavasi, then we have nothing to do in being a Vrajavasi. But if you talk about the word Vrajavasa in a generic sense, then someone who lives in Vraja is a Vrajavasi. Okay? Yes, then Vraja is a very blessed place. It's a wonderful place to live, but there are physical austerities. If you can tolerate the physical austerities, then there is no better place because you feel safe in Vraja. Because you can die, who cares? You know, your soul doesn't need to take an airplane to go to Vraja because it's already there. Yeah, obviously I'm kidding. And the being in Vraja, you feel very much secure, but it is built in such a way that you are not going to get any material pleasure. You know, I've been coming to Vrindavan for very long. I enjoyed very much being in Vrindavan when I was 40, 30, 40, 20 also, you know, like this. My age, my body crumbles down and I can't take the heat, can't take the prasadam. It's very bad, you know. This Indian cuisine is no Vaishnava cuisine, full of spices, weird things that and nothing to eat for us. So, but apart from this, someone should cultivate the desire to come in Vraja, stay for some time, and if you can live in Vraja and leave your body when the time comes, because we are going to leave it. So it's better to leave it here than to leave your body in in Florida or wherever. Obviously, there is everyone is talking about Krishna here. There is nothing. There is nothing here. There is only Krishna. That's why the people go to the temple because they are nowhere else to go. There's nothing. There is only Krishna. Uh, so yes, so Brajavasi is a very special position. Okay, so Yamuna,
What about the question about Brahman?
next time,
Oh,
because no, because I prepared, I worked a little bit because I wanted to give you a complete, but I couldn't. You know why? You know, and now I'm working 3 days, a day and night. No, not day and night, a day and night. And as you will see in a few minutes when we go in private, and Lavanga obviously is invited. You know, I already published 9 books in one day, only today. Well, day and night. Last night. So I'm very, very tired. But my books had to, you know, had to, we had to put them out again. They shut us down in Amazon, and now we are somewhere else. Okay, so Nothing? Did I bore you today? Because
Uh,
I'm very tired, you know. I don't speak very. I was supposed to go in Parikran today. You know, at 2 o'clock in the night, I had to write to the devotee saying I can't. You know, I went to sleep at 5 o'clock this morning, and so 8 o'clock I was already up. I'm very, very tired. And this will pass, and we'll have again our books and online. And I hope that everybody reads my books. Lavang, I don't know if you ever read any of my books. If you do,
Yes, I read your Mahabharata. Mukunda has here in Spanish.
only the Mahabharata. You know how many books I published?
And then there's another one I have Radha Krishna
Gano,
Ganadipika. Yeah, I have that one.
Krishna Ganodesha Deepika, you know. Radha Krishna Ganodesha Deepika tells you who is Krishna. So if you are not interested in knowing about Krishna, what kind of Krishna devotee are you? You know, it's incredible. I'm not chastising you. I'm talking in general. But you know how many books I published? Who knows? Govinda, you know the number?
so did you say 62?
62. 62 books. So you got a lot of reading to do. Tell your wonderful husband to um, buy and read the Ramayana. If he likes the Mahabharata, he cannot not like the Ramayana. I mean, it's the Signora Lord Ramayana. Actually, the Ramayana has been the first book I wrote. You know the story. Yamuna knows all the story concerning me.
Yeah, actually, I think we read your Ramayana during the study circle. I mean, I was a bit newer at the time to this whole community, but and also I didn't know much about you, but I'm thinking it was your translation.
Well, it's not a translation. I told the story. It's not that I took a book written by somebody else and I translated it. That's my book. I told the story. I remember when I was very young. I don't know if you are interested in what in my life, but anyway, something I will tell you. When I was very young, I was reading all these names, Duryodhana and Yudhishthira, and who are they? I don't know. It never happens that you hear a name you want to know absolutely who the who is he. It happens to me every time. You know, if I hear a new name, I can spend hours, you know, trying to find out who is he. That's how I arrived to have more than 200,000 files in my computer. So I was very, very. So in 77, I went to London to live in the very place temple, which is the temple where Srila Prabhupada went. It was a nice. It was very near to the British Museum. You know that the British, they have been in charge of India, actually occupying India for many, many years. So they have stolen, that they have the British Museum, that they have almost everything. It's so many things about India. So I was just walking around the one of this huge hall with chairs and tables with so many people reading, etc. And I saw the Mahabharata, you know. and I said, oh, the Mahabharata. There are 12 books, 12. So I was a temple commander at that time. So I had a lot of service. But then I just sat for 4 or 5 months every day to read the 12 books of the Mahabharata. And I was fascinated about the Mahabharata. So, and after I read the Ramayana also in London, always. And when I was young, my memory was very strong. I would remember everything, names, places, dates, everything. So one day at a temple in Catania, in Sicily, he arrived Ramanavami. The devotees wanted me to tell the story, and I said, it's a long story. I said, okay, well, the whole day, we cannot eat, so what do we do the whole day, Then I started, I told the whole Ramayana. What I didn't know, that my secretary was recording the class. And after a few months, she arrived, Prabhu, this is for you. She had typed my class. So, and I said, oh, well, then I want to print a book. And 1986, I printed the book, my first book, the Ramayana, in Italian, obviously. Okay, so please read the Ramayana. All right, so anything else? All right, so we have our meeting now. Mataji, you are very much welcome to stay. Recording stopped, and we are going to stop in the live stream. How to do that? How